Right, real quick. Now, the struggle over power at the University of Nairobi has now drawn in politics and outside forces who are said to be pushing for people who can control to win contracts for their companies.
Well, the revelation comes even as Professor Kaima Gitahi, whose appointment as Vice-Chancellor was revoked, and Professor Isaac Mbeche, the acting Vice-Chancellor, moved to show who was in charge, though employing different tactics.
That's right. Now, Enoch Sikolia reports on the controversy that has seen C.S. Magoha call in the anti-corruption watchdog. Take a listen.
The University of Nairobi is literally an institution in a state of confusion. Running on its official website is an invitation for the installation of Professor Kaima Gitahi as the 8th Vice-Chancellor. But his appointment has been revoked by Education CS George Magoha, and his office locked if this video footage is anything to go by. In the mobile phone video, staff allied to the man Magoha gave the mantle to run the institution in the acting capacity. Professor Isaac Mbeche are seen destroying office locks, replacing them with new ones. By design, Professor Kaima is declared persona non grata.
Comrades, power! Power! Comrades, rear!
The students' leadership seemingly supporting Professor Magoha's decision.
We are not fighting someone. We are not fighting anybody. We just want the normal procedures to be conducted and the right Vice-Chancellor to be appointed. For we want a Vice-Chancellor with suffocating levels of integrity.
But the man who was Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Human Resource and Administration is not taking it lying down. He's literally having a fight. In a newspaper pullout, Professor Kaima has warned Kenyans against striking deals with anyone purporting to be the institution's Vice-Chancellor or representing the university. He says anyone doing so should do it at his or her own peril. He goes on to state, and I quote, "Any resolutions originating from any other university organs which by statute are chaired by the Vice-Chancellor, if chaired by a person other than the legally appointed Vice-Chancellor or any other person expressly authorized by him in writing, similarly will not be binding." His statement coming on the heels of a memorandum by Professor Mbeche to the Director of ICT that called for streamlining of communication from the VC's office since Kaima's appointment was revoked. Mbeche said in part, "I am now directing that all communication from the Vice-Chancellor will come from the undersigned," that being Professor Mbeche himself.
The scramble for the Vice-Chancellor's position here has left the academic staff and the students' leadership divided. And yet, there are many questions.
It's not a battle between Professor Mbeche and Professor Kaima. As students, we are saying that we want the relevant procedural events to be carried out as they are stipulated in accordance with how the Vice-Chancellor should be appointed at the University of Nairobi.
With Magoha calling on board the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the University Academic Staff Union has joined in. The University of Nairobi chapter of UASU wants investigations conducted into the activity of the Public Service Commission. UASU approves the appointment process from advertisement to the interviewing stage, which was done in public. But the union questions the integrity of the latter stages of picking the Vice-Chancellor. It says that stage was clouded in secrecy.
EACC should investigate what went on in the Public Service Commission, the recruitment process. The EACC should investigate also what happened at the tail end when this appointment was made.
With EACC likely to take up the matter for probe, Citizen TV has established that the process of picking the Vice-Chancellor of Kenya's top institution of higher learning was dogged with intense lobbying. Sources claim that some influential people with companies doing business with the institution circled around the appointment process. The involvement of outside forces, it's intimated, angered the Education CS.
There are external interests that are interfering with the university, and we fear that these ones are causing the downfall of the university. But we are not going to allow that.
Enoch Sikolia, Citizen TV, Nairobi.